Okay, so I've never really been a big fan of change. If I like something, I'll stick with it for a very long time, especially my choices of tech. For example, my first framework was jQuery, then Angular to my current React. Yes, you all remember that Angular to fiasco?
Dr. Hartman violated me. He took my innocence. What?
But a year ago, I made a switch to a different framework as a lifelong React developer. Look, I was pretty set to hate every aspect of these new frameworks like I've been doing for the last 7 years. Well, because of Next.js, of course. But unless Vercel really screws me up here, I don't think I'll ever return to pure React anytime soon.
I'm not going back.
Hey mate, did you try Remix, Astro, or that O of one JavaScript framework? My last framework was React, and as I mentioned, I evolved with the front-end landscape. I experienced the basics that JavaScript ecosystem had to offer. Oh mate, React is quite bloated. Shh! I know. I just wish somebody had told me that before. It's the age-old question. React versus Angular, static versus dynamic, mom versus dad, tab versus spaces.
Nice to meet you.
We're not hiring.
He uses spaces, not tabs.
There's really no clear answer, except if you choose for spaces. When I was younger, I was a textbook Next.js hater. I thought Next.js users were a bit technologically challenged and bunch of product managers who are very framework dependent.
Too dependent on China 4, and I think we would be better off having
which only enterprise users used. The choice of framework really depends on your use case. I do a lot of web development which involves content marketing, so a server-side generated site is as good as
Make America Great Again plan.
So I need to rely on SSR. In short, websites which are made with PHP or Django, which are server generated, which is great for SEO. So I found that everything runs so much smoother and so much faster on Next.js for me as a JavaScript developer. The point is, I was used to React, but it was the only thing I ever known. It was just comfortable. The high bundle sizes, the performance issues, and having the constant
print more money.
$96,280. If you're not careful, that could be your website hosting bill for the month.
And create React app is the heaviest thing in the world.
It's the biggest piece of dog shit that I have ever heard.
So I took a bet. I purchased this course by Steven Grider about server-side React components and constantly implemented server-side rendering manually.
Whoa, hey.
Was all a bit too much to handle. Now around this time, Next.js was about a year into its latest app router release, and Fireship mentioned it as it was the next incoming of Jesus Christ in web development frameworks.
Jesus Christ!
So I put my bias aside and tried my first ever Next project, and I was surprised. The interface combined with React server components is seriously no joke.
Hey, that's pretty good.
It's clear that Next.js is trying to go for a productive developer experience with all those built-in features. The image tag,
AKA
the image component in itself is a great time saver. So what it basically does is it takes your image and your target image size and renders exact image size required for that. Yapping, mind fucking blown. The routing system is very rich, and Next.js feels like a full-stack developer framework with plenty of features. But not in a bad way. The ecosystem feels like luxury, and working with it feels enjoyable. But as good as Next.js is, there are still things I struggled. Vercel's design philosophy is to mimic traditional full-stack frameworks, which can be both good and challenging. I mean, they brought PHP back, but this some shenanigans. Using server components will mimic real server-side operations, and sometimes they can be confusing. Hydration can be complex without proper understanding. I feel that it slows down my workflow by a ton. It's insane. And let's talk about development. It's very pretty, but it's not straightforward as deploying a pure React app. I was like, really? I get the argument. Next.js is just better. As a software engineer with 7+ years of experience, I tend to value my time more. And trust me, it will make day and night difference. Just like my dating life after I switched to Next.js. Expensive, but absolutely worth it. See you in the next video.